Bon matin, bonjour, bonjour, bon matin, bienvenue, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello guys, hello sleepyheads, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Where's my chat? Where's my chat? Hello? Hello out there. Hi. It's so good to see you. Wake up. Grab a push, wake up. Don't be asleep. Wake up. Yeah, it's on my screen now, but it wasn't before. I was eating and didn't want to get my keyboard and mouse dirty. That's respectable. I respect it. I understand. I remember when I first set up my office for streaming and I was like, you know what? I'm never going to eat at my desk. Never. I'm never going to have a meal at my desk. I'm only going to have a drink. And then that didn't happen at all. And I had a beautiful like Sailor Moon desk mat that someone gifted to me. And it got so dirty because, I don't know, I guess I'm a slob. I guess I'm just slobbish like that. So then I got a new desk mat, the one that you guys are probably more familiar with, my green one with the Triforces and the, like the Zelda one. And the one edge of it, dirty. Dirty, 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 dirty. Hurdy-dirty, play the hurdy-gurdy. Very dirty. And then I had to like switch it, like swap it, because I'm not ready to get a new desk mat at this point. I'm not ready. I can't take that leap yet. I'm still faithful to this one. And I know I can probably wash them, but who's out here washing they desk pads? Who is honestly doing such a thing? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hot dog. Today goes quite well. I was under the impression that it was supposed to be like raining all day. Doesn't really look like rain right now. I really want to go out later. I'm afraid though later that it'll probably be a different story. Buy a new one with my face on it? I wish. Girl, I wish. One day maybe we'll have Lily Danger brand desk mats. Would you guys buy that? Don't say yes if you're not serious about it. That would be cool. I considered just getting like one specifically made for me, just one. Just for me. Just to make you guys jealous. Just to make the real Lily Danger fans jealous. You'd buy it, Zral? Aw. If not for international shipping costs. Damn. I guess I can't convince you, coax you, and persuade you into buying the official Lily Danger merch, which is just up there in that corner. You see it? Right there. I suppose I can't convince you to purchase my merchandise. You should purchase my merchandise. Please purchase my merchandise, everyone. Coffee mugs? No, I don't want to ship coffee mugs. That seems like a mess. I'm trying to get a Lily Danger face mask so I can stay safe and also ask what you want. What you need. What you need. Cozy, hi. Thank you for the blood. I slurp you. Also, Andrew, thank you for the blood. I slurp you. Wisconsin Bear, slurp you. Kino, slurp you. Thank you for the blood. Az, thank you for the blood. I slurp you. Antonio, thank you for the blood. I slurp you. You guys taste really good today. Zell, thank you for the blood. I slurp you. Zral, I slurp you. Oh, so much blood. So much blurred today. Rose Chains, thank you so much for the blood. Guess what? Slurping you. I'm slurping you something fierce. I'll never stop slurping you guys, ever. Y'all are tasty as fuck. Crim Sparrow, hello. Hi, hi, hi. How you doing? Save your money, but buy Lily stuff, just like you said in January. Yeah. Was the thingy helpful for the other thingy? It's probably helpful. I haven't looked at it yet because I'm lazy, but I will eventually. I thought about doing it earlier today, but then I smashed my arm. Oh, Jesus. That scared me. But then I smashed my arm off the doorknob of my back door, and it completely knocked my brain out of my head with pain. It hurt so much. It hurt a lot, and yeah, I don't like it. It hurts. I can't even think. I got smashed. Yeah. I fucking just smoked my arm off the fucking knob of my back door, but sheesh. It hurts a lot. Please stop suspending me. Hi. You're a star. Sorry that you hurt yourself. Oh, it's okay. It's my own fault. It's really, really my own fault. Hope you recover quickly. Thank you. Forrest, you're so sweet. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm just being a baby. You know when you like stub your toe or you just like smash your elbow off of something and like it's not major, but it hurts a lot because for some reason all of the nerve endings are there. It just hurts extra. I was like, I'm gonna be a paraplegic. Not even that, I'm gonna be a quadriplegic after this. Ouch, ouch. It hurts. Ooch, ooch. It hurts. Oh, ooch, my balls. Yeah, but I'll be fine. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry about me. How are you? Her arm's not even touching that fucking knob, man. Oh, it touched the knob something fierce. It smashed that knob. Smashed the knob. It really fucked me up. But you know what? It's okay. We're gonna be fine. I'm fine. How are you guys, though? I'm fine. Personally, nothing is wrong with me at all whatsoever. Everything is perfect and fine. Everything is fine. I'm feeling pretty glunky. How's your weekends, my dear darling chat? How's it going? How are we feeling on this day? Are we ready for the last chapter of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? That video. I know. Your stick's not even touching the fucking ground, man. Tired? Me too, even though I slept really, I slept good. I slept like over 7 hours. You know what I think it is? I think I have like a green over from yesterday. I smoked so much weed yesterday. Remember, chat, when I said that I was going to stop smoking weed and then I like totally fucking didn't? Anyway, I woke up yesterday immediately. First thing I did before I even made coffee or had like a drink of water, I smoked weed. And then like I had the audacity to be like, why am I so tired? Oh my God. Yo, I'm tired for like no reason. Meanwhile, I'm smoking like the strongest weed that money can buy. First thing in the morning, awake and bake supreme is what I like to call it. And then instead of like, coming out of it, coming down, getting some energy in, I just like continued smoking weed all day. I just smoked weed all day. And then, yeah, by the time it was like 9:30, I was like honk shoeing real fucking hard. Covey the Clown, thank you so much for the follow, my darling. Welcome to the Stargazer stream with me, Lily Danger. Hey, a fellow clown? I'm a clown. People think that I'm joking when I say that, but I'm a clown, actually. Not just a jester. I'm not a jester for your entertainment. I mean, I am that, of course. Of course I am, but I am really a clown. Are you a clown? I got high before the Dune 2 watch yesterday, but I didn't sleep till like 4 a.m. Oh my God. Hello, strangers. Lovely to hear your beautiful voice. You're a clown? Yeah, legitimately. Like, I dress up in like full clown drag quite often, actually. I don't have any like photo evidence to present to you at this moment, but I've posted some of my clown looks before. But yeah, I love clowns. I'm obsessed with clowns. My entire office is kind of clown themed. My wife is a face painter and I dress up in clown get up from time to time as well. That is so cool. I love that. I think the thing that I love most about like getting in clown drag is the face painting aspect of it. I've been told that I am, pretty decent at it. I'm a pretty decent clown painter. But yes, I'm so happy to meet a fellow clown. I lived with professional clowns for a lot of years. I don't like do it professionally. I just do it for the love of the game. I love drag, and I particularly just like love clown looks and how versatile and fun they are. It's like my alter ego, because I suppose one might say I'm a goth girl. I'm goth. I wear a lot of dark colors, but also at the same time, I like to dress up in really ridiculously bright and silly outfits just to get a, just to get a different perspective on life. It's fun. Numbers, thank you for the blood. I slurp you. Whenever my wife paints my face, it's the most calming sensation in the world. I almost fell asleep in her face painting chair. I also do it for fun too. Wow, I'm in the right place. Yeah, you are. You completely are. Oh my god. Absolutely. If you have Discord and join my Discord server, there's probably photos of me recently. Actually, I've done some clown looks recently. But yeah. If you ever want to look at them, if you ever want to give them a gander. That's really cute, though, that your wife is a face painter. I love that. Covey the Clown, I love. This is amazing, honestly. Love meeting clowns. One time, oh my god, one time I went to this restaurant and I had to park around the corner in like a parking lot thing, a paid parking lot. And then I was paying at the little like booth thing, and then I turn around and I see this girl in like full clown garb in her car, and we locked eyes, and I instantly got like a gigantic smile, and I was just like, yes, queen, oh my god, I love that. And then she stepped out of her car and she's like, hey, do you want a balloon? And I was like, yeah, yes. Do I want a balloon from a cute clown girl that I recently just made eye contact with randomly out of nowhere? Yes. And then she proceeded to make me a little blow up dog balloon thing, and she was like, I'm new at this. I'm kind of practicing. So it might not be perfect. And I'm like, girl, you have no idea actually how beautiful and fucking perfect this moment is. You have made not only my day and my week and my month, but I will never forget this. And she was like, oh my god, really? And I was like, you have no idea how fucking delightful this is to me. It was so lovely. There is no sound because it's Saturday morning cozy time, and we're gonna get into some reading. I forgot to mention that off the top, you guys. Save your channel points and your bits, because I have not deactivated, but I've turned the sound off of the channel points and stuff, because yeah, like I said, we're gonna finish the last chapter of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde as soon as I'm finished yapping, which who even knows when that's gonna be. But yeah, where can I post selfies? I want to show you my wife's beautiful face paint. Oh, you can in the Safer Work Art Share. I really need to make a new channel for people to like post like more personal stuff, but if you can find the Safer Work Art Share channel, you can definitely post there, and I will look at them. Yes, I will. Also, hello Legion. I'm sorry. Here, let me do it for you. Is your refrigerator running? Yeah, why? 'Cause I'm gonna suck your dick. Ooh! Wait! Yay! You guys didn't hear the sound, right? The sound from that? I heard it, but maybe you guys didn't. Did you guys hear it? It's off. Okay. Vampy 666, thank you so much for the raid, my love. Welcome in, raiders. Hello, hi, my name is Lily Danger, your vampire enchantress. I am a voice actor, writer, streamer, full-time content creator. I am a person who has her own official merch that I funded myself, well, with the help of all of my beautiful, wonderful supporters. Please feel free to hang out. Can I please get a shout out for Vamp, please? Also share with you my favorite drawings. I've recently been getting better at art. That's amazing. I love that. Great time for a raid. Oh, when I'm saying crazy unhinged shit, the chances of that are honestly super high. There we go. Guys, please go drop Vamp VA666 a follow. They were kind enough to raid into us, to bring their community to our doorstep. And though I was saying some crazy fucking shit, you know what? That's just the way it is. You guys know I am a proprietor, peddler of the spicy, mature variety. Therefore, we're going to be saying some fucked up shit. Probably. But yes, thank you once again. Vamp, if you have to raid and run, I completely understand. Please take care of yourself. Get some snacks, get a stretch, get a nap, whatever you need to do. But if not, please feel free to stick around, my love. It is an honor to have you. And Legion, thank you so much for the 5 stream streak. Thank you for streaking and freaking with me. I appreciate that. Yeah! And I know I missed a bunch of stuff. I fucked up though. I'll admit, the Lucy's got the best of me and I smoke cigarettes occasionally. Oh, Omega! Omega! I know you can do it. You know what? Everyone has that. Everyone does like a little mistake. Don't worry, it's okay. You can. You've done it before and you can do it again. And it's very common to, you know, relapse a little back into bad habits, but I know that you can do it again. I know you can. Hey, I did that too. I quit smoking when I was like 25-ish, and I didn't smoke like any cigarettes for a long time, and then I think I like was on acid one night and drinking, and I was like, give me that cigarette, and I like took a puff of it and I was like, bleh. Bleh. Have a great stream. I am a little blah. Aw, sorry to hear that, my darling. Well, you're more than welcome to stick around here and hopefully I can get your spirits up a little bit. I'd appreciate it. But again, if you have to go, I understand. Take care of yourself, okay? Do one nice thing for yourself today. You deserve it. Ooh, okay. Usually I don't check Discord while I'm streaming, but I'm super curious to see the face paint. So let me check it out. I want to see. What do we got? Oh my god, I gotta scroll. Oh my goodness! Your outfit is the best! Oh my god, that makeup is so freaking cool! I love it! That's so cute! Yo, your wifey did that? Yo, she's great. Hang on. Let me see if I can find... you know what? Fuck it. Let me just go on my phone real quick before we get into this, and I will post some of my looks. Let me see. By the way, guys, if you haven't joined the Discord server already, I highly recommend doing so. Obviously, it is an 18+ server, so please be over the age of 18, and if you're not, please don't even be here. But if you are, please feel free to join. Okay, let's see. I'll post my last look that I did last month. And that is like a green and pink one. And then I'll post... Let's see. When was the last time that I did it? Probably Halloween. But yeah, every Halloween I dress up as some clown. Let me just scroll through these millions and millions of not safe for work photos. Here we go. There, I'll just do the 2 for now, but there's many of them, honestly. There we go. There's some of mine. Just a couple. I've done quite a few. But yeah. Fun. I love it. Yeah. Kind of sick at the moment, so I'm not all here. Aw, well, we got your back, Vamp. Definitely get some water and eat some fruits and veggies. Take care of yourself. Do what you can. All you can do is do what you can. But yeah. Oh, thank you, Nudie. I was so proud of that one. That one took me like 3 hours, though. The amount of time that it takes for me to do clown looks is the reason why I can't do it in a more professional sense, because it would just take so much time, so much of my time. It takes forever, for freaking ever. You folks are handsome. Aw, thank you, Ocelot. That's so sweet. Phantom, thank you so much for the blood, darling. I slurp you. Yummy. Delicious. Thank you. Thank you. In the second one, I was doing, I think it was Slim the Clown from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'm obsessed with horror clowns, which is basically like my big thing. Pennywise is obviously my favorite. Mommy Issues Maxing, thank you so much for the follow, my darling. Welcome to the Stargazer stream with me, Lily Danger, your vampire enchantress, or perhaps your vampire mommy. I don't know. Ooh, ah, ee. Welcome in. How are you? May I join your Discord? Yes, of course you can. It is an 18 plus Discord server, so please be over the age of 18. And if you are not, then hit the road. So cool, so cool. I love that. Oh my god, we're making new friends today. It's beautiful. This is lovely. I'm very happy. So yes, you guys, it is Saturday. On Saturdays, I like to read. Not only am I a vampiric enchantress and the owner of this beautiful castle that you have found yourself in, but I am a librarian in training. We do have our very own library. I paid for it. I paid for the renovations in the Stargazer Castle myself. So I like to invite you guys in every Saturday so that I can read to you some lovely classic gothic horror literature, because that is one of my favorite things. We have been reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The previous chapters are up on my YouTube channel if you want to get caught up. It's a short story, which I didn't know previously that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was like actually a short story. I thought it was a full-length novel, but it's not. So we have the previous, 9 chapters? It's 10 chapters in total. I believe I have all previous chapters up on my YouTube channel right now. So if you ever like to listen to a vampire narrate classic literature to you, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe there. We've read Dracula by Bram Stoker. We've read Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu. And then Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is our third one. I am reading the final chapter today. It's, I believe, 8 pages. Final chapter. That's what we're going to be doing. And then after the final chapter, we're going to get into some gaming. I'm going to turn back on all of the sound redeems, and we're going to get a little bit cozy, chaotic with it, as we like to do, because, you know, anytime we read, it's always nice to up the energy afterwards. So with that being said, I do invite you to come over to the library. However, please do not run in the corridors, because you will wake Kevin and he will murder you ruthlessly and without judgment. Then it's going to be Frankenstein. Yes, we're going to do Frankenstein after. So we'll probably actually before I make any promises, 1 second. Willem, thank you so much for the blood, my darling. I slurp you. Delicious. I might take next Saturday off, so I don't know if we're gonna start Frankenstein next week, but if I don't know, if I don't take it off, we'll start it next week. If not, we'll start it the week after. Vamp VA, thank you so much for the Prime sub for 2 months. Can I please get some love and hype in the chat? Thank you so much. Not Kevin. Covey, you just got here and you already know not to fuck with Kevin. I love it. I'm gonna slip on the wet floor and crack my skull. I mean, that's your prerogative. I mean, I can't be held responsible for any injuries sustained while in Castle Stargazer. You guys didn't like sign a waiver or anything, but you know, if you try to take it to court, I'll just destroy you with my vampiric powers. If you can find any non-copyrighted short stories, they'd be fun for one-off YouTube vids. Yes, I agree. I completely agree with that. You know what? This book actually that we have, hang on, before I start yapping even more. Guys, let's go to the library, okay? I'll meet you there. Wow, that was quick. Holy shit. You guys, I have a feeling that you were running in the hallways. And I can't really back that up, but you know what? I'm just gonna let that one slide this time. I'm pretty sure actually in this book, and by pretty sure I mean I'm downright positive, in this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde book that I have, which I'll put on the hand cam soon, has other short stories by Robert Louis Stevenson that are certainly like one shots. And also we've done some Edgar Allan Poe. We have a short some short Edgar Allan Poe ones. But yeah, after Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, there's the Body Snatcher, the Bottle Imp, Markham, and Weir of Hermiston, You'll be hearing from my lawyers. It's just Babu. Babu is my lawyer. This has already been established. My cat is my lawyer. This is why I don't do well in court, which is why I resort to vampiric violence rather than settling things in a court of law, because my lawyer is honestly quite incompetent, but it's okay. I love that. I was talking about this on stream actually not too long ago, but from the Little Rascals, that little rich boy who for some reason I thought was like Macaulay Culkin is totally not Macaulay Culkin. His last line of that movie is, "You'll be hearing from my lawyers." And I love it. And also one of his first scenes when he was just like, "Yes, I'm sure you are." Like that kid was the drama. That kid was the moment. He was the shining star of that movie. Step aside Alfalfa, step aside Froggy, step aside whoever the fucking else, Spanky, whoever. That kid, Waldo was his name? Waldo, I think. That guy was the star of that movie, okay? Oh, that's funny. Tough if your lawyer doesn't have index fingers. Yeah, but he's got claws. He's a doctor, a professor, and a lawyer. Yeah, Dr. Professor Baloney, and he also passed the bar exam somehow. I don't know. It is what it is. We don't question these things. We're not questioning it, okay? There's no questions. Dr. Professor Baloney, emeritus. Okay, guys. So, we're gonna get into some book, alright? Book is gonna happen. And then I want you guys to vote on the game that I'm gonna play after. So stick around, okay? Esquire? Was it Esquire? Dr. Professor Baloney, Esquire. At your service. 007. Oh my god. But yeah, here we go. Boom, hand cam. There we go. By the way, yes, we have new nails. I know. Please freak out. Please freak out. I did a very different color scheme. Can I please get some nails in the chat, please? We got new nails. Also, I got my toes done this black sparkly rainbow color, and they're gorgeous. I wanted to do a teal and red color scheme. It kind of came out a little bit more red than teal. Rubes, there you are. Where have you been? My toes? Yeah, I'll show the toes. And the gems on this are very Lily Danger. Like, look, they match my earrings. Pretty cool, right? Red Bear, hello! I asked for some nails in the chat. Please deliver. Please deliver. This is a really fun one. It's very different than what I normally go for. I'm still... there still needs to be more nails happening in the chat, though. of Firecracker from The Boys. Oh, true. Rip. Yeah. Rip. I'll show you my toes though. Wait, I gotta check my right foot first because sometimes I get hairs that grow on my right big toe that are like egregious, and like literally no other toe on my body has it except for that one. So let me just see first before I can show that one off. I don't know. I don't know when the last time. I think it's fine. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys my toes. Here they are. Pretty, right? Cute, right? I love. I love that she's played by a lesbian and makes her scenes 100 times funnier. I had no idea. I've been keeping up on this season of The Boys. This is the last season, right? That episode with Will Forte and Seth Rogen and Mick Lovin and Kumail and Jared Padalecki and that other guy from Supernatural. How fucking hilarious was that? Started a couple days ago. Nice. So far so good. Oh yeah, weren't we talking about that? Misha Collins. Right. I always forget that dude's name. That was funny as hell. I love stuff like that. Loved it. It was so funny. They had all the Supernatural guys. Also, what's his face? Soldier Boy. What's his name again? What's his fucking name? Jensen Ackles. Fuck, man, that guy is so fine. But I've never thought so in any other thing. But as Soldier Boy, I'm just like, oh my god. Brother, please stop with that. I love Kumail so much. He was on Stabby's World recently and I was crying laughing. I don't know if I watched that episode. I watched the most recent episode of Stabby's World with Caleb Heron. I think that was his second time. Caleb Heron's like my favorite comedian right now. I do love Kumail. Kumail is such a treasure. I love that he got bullied so fucking bad for Eternals, like so bad that he was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna stay jacked, I'm gonna stay yoked because of to spite you all, I'm gonna stay fucking ripped to spite you all, motherfucker, I'm trying to help you, you son of a bitch. Brethren, hath mercy, for real. In this world, you either crank that Soldier Boy or it cranks you. You! The best reason to be ripped is for absolutely no reason. For real! I love that. I love that he was just like, you know what? No. You guys had way too much fucking shit to talk about Eternals. I'm staying ripped. I don't give a fuck. Good for him. By the way, has anyone in chat watched Silicon Valley? Because Kumail is amazing in that show. I love that you watched Stabby's World. I honestly didn't know that Stabby was like that big. Because anytime I ever mention watching it, guys are like, what? You watch Stabby's World? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is that a surprise? I love it when he has Matteo Leonon and Caleb Heron because I'm just like a sucker for a gay comedian. He's a Cumtown alum. Okay, that I don't know what that is. What is a Cumtown? Who lives there? Not me. Could not be me. Cumtown was a podcast? Of course it was. Oh, Rabs! Hi! You would love Cumtown. I don't think I would. That doesn't sound like a place that I would ever visit. I would certainly not be elected into the local government of Cumtown. Not me. Zach Cherry? I don't know who that is. The one with Steph Tolev was so good. Oh my god. Yeah, Stavi just has on like a lot of comedians that I love. And then like I like Stavi as a comedian. Wouldn't really say that he's my top, but I like his podcast because he has on a lot of people that I like. But I'm not like, I'm like, eh. I'm kind of like meh. I'm kind of meh about him. Some of his takes are a little bit wild when it comes to like, I don't know, when it comes to like how he views women or like how he pursues women. I'm kind of just like, yuck. But like, there's so much worse. There's so much worse out there. I don't care if a weird looking little like gremlin man is like, I don't know how I'm not getting laid looking the way he looks. I don't care about that. But like, yeah, sometimes I'm like, shh, let the guest talk. Who, Stavi? Yes. With the most autistic and evil man to ever live, Nick Mullen. I don't know who that is. Zach Cherry played the big dude in Severance. Oh, the round guy. I know him from a different show. I mean, obviously I know him from Severance, but he's in something else. What else was he in? Hang on, I gotta know. Tell me, baby girl, 'cause I need to know. Anytime I Google something on my phone, I sing to my phone, like, I need to know. I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, 'cause I need to know. My phone is my baby girl. Fallout? He was in Fallout? I mean, he's in a lot of shit, but what am I thinking of specifically? I'm thinking of something specific and I don't know what it is. Doesn't strike me like the bitter type. You guys are talking some craziness. Brisk deer, thank you so much for the blood, my darling. I slurp you. Okay, Severance, yes, obviously I know that. What the hell am I thinking of? Is it literally just that? It's Severance and Fallout? There must have been something else I was thinking about. He's in a lot of shit. Good for him. He was in Broad City, which is... Guys, if you haven't watched Broad City with Ilana Glazer and Abby... what's her face? Hang on, Broad City. And Abby Jacobson. One of the funniest shows that has ever existed. It is so fucking funny. It's like, for me, if I were to describe it, it's like Workaholics but with chicks, but like twice as funny, in my opinion. I love Ilana Glazer. Did we Jekyll off yet? No, not yet. I'm trapped in the yap chamber. You know, I get a yapping, I get a chatting, I get a chiggity chatting, and then it just never ends. Lanky, hello love, how are you? I am going good. I am going good. It is going well. How are you? So good to have you. I used to watch it when I had Comedy Central on cable. That's crazy. Cable? Oh my god. Guys, do you remember cable? Who didn't have cable growing up? Who is young enough in the chat that you like just don't even know what that is? I love the episode where she kicks the rotisserie chicken. I love every episode. I love the episode where they like drop acid. That's like one of my favorite episodes ever. Also, there's an episode where like Abby's working somewhere, I don't even know, like trying to find like a job, and it is like working in various places, and like the boss is like keeps calling her Abo. It's like so stupid, but it's so funny. I'm 25 and we have never had cable. That is so crazy. I'm doing pretty well. Had a Burger King for lunch and it fucking slapped. It was so good. A Kurger bang for Lanky. I love it. It's going well for me. We're going to read the last chapter of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and then I'm going to get into some gaming. But I don't know what game to play. So after we are done reading, I'm going to let you guys help me vote on what we're going to play out of various options. We got Cyberpunk, we got Breath of the Wild, We got Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I still haven't finished yet, Tomodachi, and Pokopia. There's gonna be 5 options, so think about it. Don't say it now. Don't say it now. Don't say it now. But consider it. I know what it is. We just didn't have it. Fair. You don't know what Cable is? Were you a Scrubs enjoyer? I never watched it. I never watched that show. Not for any reason other than the fact that I just, you know, never really watched it. But yeah. Crazy how you were so obsessed with DK then dropped it, but I relate. That's how I am with all games. Yo, for real, for most games, I get like 80 to 90% through the game, and then a new game comes out, and I'm like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Bye, Woody. If you know that reference, thank you. I don't know what that's about. I just, yeah, plus, yeah, so many new things be dropping all the time, and then I get distracted, and then I'm like, you know, I don't know. What? Dono King, what? Don't say my name in all caps, because that's what my mods do when I'm in trouble. That is giving me PTSD. Oh my god, yes, Toy Story. Bye, Woody. Was gonna lose to the Autosuck 3000 every single time. Can't stay busy building Lego. I mean, legit. I understand, Dono King, but thank you for popping in and saying hello. That means the world to me. You guys, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even actually matter. Bye, Woody. I'm not a mod, so I'm allowed to say Lily in all caps. Oh yeah, guys. Do you remember what happened on Thursday? Oh my fucking god. I told myself I wasn't going to talk about it, but guys, I accidentally toggled on Bob's and Vagine because, you know, as a mature content creator, my model here has a different outfit as well as a lack of one. And I accidentally toggled on the lack of clothing by using my number pad, which I have like hotkeyed to certain toggles, which I need to make that not a thing. And I was fully streaming completely with a nude model for God knows how long, and then everyone was like, Lily! And I was like, what? Oh my god, relax. Really put the hot in hotkey. Yo, I can't believe that. Thank you, Lanky. I just got them done yesterday. They're very fresh. Also, you weren't here, but I did show off my toes. I got my toes painted the same color as these nails. Black and rainbow sparkle. Very, very cute. Very cute. I got marble done on these ones. Like marbly. I don't know if I love them or not. It's pretty cool, but I don't know if I'd get it done again. I don't know. I just wanted to go with something like a little different. And then I knew that I wanted to do like a teal and red, but then I was like, that's like getting really close to like the Union Jack colors, and I'm gonna be going to England in like less than a month, and I was like, ew, I don't want to be that person that's like theme my nails to whatever. So I was like, okay, let me do like my teal and red color scheme, and then I'm gonna need to get my nails done once more before my vacation, so then I'll just do something else. Oh my god, please show me them. I want to see toes. Nails. Okay, I will. I'll show you guys. I don't care. Can't believe YouTube didn't nuke your shit. I caught it. I caught it right away. I ended stream and I went and I deleted all of the VODs from everything. But yeah, here we go. Ugh. Ah! Here they are. I'm not going to show you my right foot because I think I have like hair growing on my right toe right now that I haven't plucked, so tee 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 tee. Woo. You like? Pretty, right? Hell yeah. Cute. Yay. Half Hobbit on the right side. No, I'm full Hobbit on all sides. How the fuck am I 5'0" with a size 8 shoe? A size 8 shoe. 5'0". That makes no sense at all. Even 7 is kind of big for the height. I am a full hobbit. Free toes for you guys because I love you. Anyone who shows up at my streams when I got new nails gets some free toes. Aww. Thank you. All right, I've been yapping for about an hour now. You gotta buy clown shoes? Sweetheart, I be having clown shoes. I have fully clown shoes. You should see my shoe closet. It's like 80% clown shoes. Okay. Clown shoes to me are just normal shoes. What you may call a clown shoe, I just call normal shoes. What did I just join into? Me showing my toesies for free on stream. Hey, there's no rule saying that I can't show my grippers. I'm just showing off my pedicure. It looks good. It's pretty. But yeah. Okay, guys, before I waste all of my time, not that we're wasting it, we got to get into this book. Are you guys going to stick around so I can read you the last chapter of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? And if you haven't read up until then, I have all of the previous chapters posted on my YouTube channel. Are you okay with that? Can we do that? Are you going to stick around for that? And then we're going to play some game after? Can we do that? Please? Please? Clown Shua. Hello, Tommy. Sure, I guess. Zeral, you have no choice. You're stuck in the walls forever. Okay, that's enough yapstressing. I've been quite a yapstress. Let's put on our 10 hours of continuous crackling fire sounds for sleep. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. We want the thunder one. We want to put on our cozy ambience rain on window and thunder sounds, fireplace sounds, 10-hour non-stop playlist. We are 5.5 hours through the 10-hour rain on window and thunder sounds, fireplace sounds. I always stay when you read and stream whenever you want. Thank you. Tommy, thank you so much for the blood, my darling. I slurp you. Yummy. All right, guys. So for those of you who are new or you haven't been to one of my Saturday streams, while I read to you, and by the way, I'm reading one chapter. It's not going to take me terribly long, so please don't go anywhere. I'm not going to be stopping to address chat at all. So if you're like, Lily, your boobs are showing. Lily, I'm going to ignore you. Not because I don't like you, but because, you know, I'm reading. And we're going to do this audiobook style where hopefully I can continuously read the chapter. If I flub a line or mispronounce something or something like that, I will pause and then restart the line. If I get raided during the reading portion, I will pause to welcome in the raiders. But if you guys have questions, I recommend asking now and not during the reading portion, because I will not be stopping to address chat. As well as please save your channel points and your bits if you want to cheer bits later on when I actually have the sound turned on. Right now we're in cozy mode. No sound redeems are active at the moment. I think the only thing that you can do is batify me. So yeah, but after we're done streaming, I'll turn all of that stuff back on and then we can get jiggy with it. Yes. Would you rather have unlimited bacon and no games, or unlimited games but no games? Neither of those options are appealing to me at all because I don't eat bacon. Unlimited games but no games? That makes no sense. Gotta go. Have a good stream. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you. And thank you for the lyric raps. I appreciate you so much. Have you ever, would have you have whatever? Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it, you guys. I'm gonna turn this up a bit. Can you hear the fireplace crackling? I wub you. I wub you. When will you wear wigs? I don't know. Maybe. When will you wear wigs? Have you worn wigs? Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? I can't. Okay, guys. Shh. Here we go. Last chapter of this book. This is the conclusion. This chapter is from the perspective of Dr. Jekyll, which we haven't had for the entire book. This one's going to be a good one, all right? So listen up. We're going to start, my loves. Here we go. Yeah. The grand finale, indeed. Here we go. Bless you, and also with you. Okay, here we go. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Chapter 10. Henry Jekyll's full statement of the case. I was born in the year 18 to a large fortune, endowed besides with excellent parts, inclined by nature to industry, fond of the respect of the wise and good among my fellow men, and thus, as might have been supposed, with every guarantee of an honorable and distinguished future. And indeed the worst of my faults was a certain impatient gaiety of disposition, such as has made the happiness of many, but such as I found it hard to reconcile with my imperious desire to carry my head high, and wear a more than commonly grave countenance before the public. Hence it came about that I concealed my pleasures, and that when I reached years of reflection and began to look around me and take stock of my progress and position in the world, I stood already committed to profound duplicity of life. Many a man would have even blazoned such irregularities as I was guilty of, but from the high views that I had set before me, I regarded and hid them with an almost morbid sense of shame. It was thus rather the exacting nature of my aspirations than any particular degradation in my faults that made me what I was, and with even a deeper trench than in the majority of men, severed in me those provinces of good and ill which divide and compound man's dual nature. In this case, I was driven to reflect deeply and invariably. That's not a word. Inveterately. In this case, I was driven to reflect deeply and inveterately on that hard law of life, which lies at the root of religion and is one of the most plentiful springs of distress. Though so profound a double dealer, I was in no sense a hypocrite. Both sides of me were in dead earnest. I was no more myself when I laid aside restraint and plunged in shame than when I labored, in the eye of day, at the furtherance of knowledge or the relief of sorrow and suffering. And it chanced that the direction of my scientific studies, which led wholly towards the mystic and the transcendental, reacted and shed a strong light on this consciousness of the perennial war among my members. With every day, and from both sides of my intelligence, the moral and the intellectual, I thus drew steadily nearer to that truth by whose partial discovery I have been doomed to such a dreadful shipwreck, that man is not truly one, but truly two. I say two, because the state of my own knowledge does not pass beyond that point. Others will follow, others will outstrip me on the same lines, and I hazard the guess that man will be ultimately known for a mere polity of multifarious, incongruous, and independent denizens. I, for my part, from the nature of my life, advanced infallibly in one direction and in one direction only. It was on the moral side, and in my own person, that I learned to recognize the thorough and primitive duality of man. I saw that, of the two natures that contended in the field of my consciousness, even if I could rightly be said to be either, it was only because I was radically both, and from an early date, even before the course of my scientific discoveries had begun to suggest the most naked possibility of such a miracle, I had learned to dwell with pleasure, as a beloved daydream, on the thought of the separation of these elements. If each, I told myself, could be housed in separate identities, life would be relieved of all that was unbearable. The unjust might go his way, delivered from the aspirations and remorse of his more upright twin, and the just could walk steadfastly and securely on his upward path, doing the good things in which he found his pleasure, and no longer exposed to disgrace and penitence by the hands of this extraneous evil. Did you guys hear my cat? My cat is in heat, and oh dear, there's a word in here that I don't want to say. Oh my god. Guys, there's a word. Oh no. Okay. Okay, don't get mad at me for this. This is very old. This was written in the 1800s. It was the curse of mankind that these incongruous faggots were Fuck. I know that's not what it's supposed to mean, but oh my god, I can't say that with a straight fucking face. You guys. I'm gonna really try to get through this. This is gonna be tough. Oh my god. Fuck my life. Yes, I have to say it because it's in the book. It's part of the book. Oh my god, okay. I'm sorry, Jesus. Sorry, Mom. Whew. Fuck. Oh, I'm so immature. Okay. Guys, stop. What are you sorry for? An archaic term has come up in this passage that I have to read aloud with a straight face. Oh my god. Okay. It was the curse of mankind that these incongruous faggots were thus bound together, that in the agonized womb of consciousness these polar twins should be continuously struggling. How then were they disassociated? I was so far in my reflections when, as I have said, a side light began to shine upon the subject from the laboratory table. I began to perceive more deeply than it has ever yet been stated the trembling immateriality, the mist-like transience of this seemingly so solid body in which we walk attired. Certain agents I found to have the power to shake and to pluck back that fleshly... Sorry. Where was I? Certain agents I found to have the power to shake and to pluck back that fleshly vestment, even as a wind might toss the curtains of a pavilion. For two good reasons, I will not enter deeply into this scientific branch of my confession. First, because I have been made to learn that the doom and burden of our life is bound forever on man's shoulders, and when the attempt is made to cast it off, it but returns upon us with more unfamiliar and more awful pressure. Second, because, as my narrative will make, alas, too evident my discoveries were incomplete. Enough, then, that I not only recognized my natural body for the mere aura and effulgence of certain of the powers that made up my spirit, but managed to compound a drug by which these powers should be dethroned from their supremacy, and a second form and countenance substituted, none the less natural to me because they were the expression and bore the stamp of lower elements in my soul. I hesitated long before I put this theory to the test of practice. I knew well that I risked death, for any drug that so potently controlled and shook the very fortress of identity might, by the least scruple of an overdose, or at the least inopportunity in the moment of exhibition, utterly blot out that immaterial tabernacle which I looked to it to change. But the temptation of a discovery so singular and profound at last overcame the suggestions of alarm. I had long since prepared my tincture. I purchased at once from a firm of wholesale chemists a large quantity of a particular salt which I knew from my experiments to be the last ingredient required, and late one accursed night I compounded the elements, watched them boil and smoke together in the glass, and when the ebullition had subsided, with a strong glow of courage, drank off the potion. The most racking pang succeeded, a grinding in the bones, deadly nausea, and a horror of the spirit that cannot be exceeded at the hour of birth or death. Then these agonies began swiftly to subside, and I came to myself as if out of a great sickness. There was something strange in my sensations, something indescribably new, and, from its very novelty, incredibly sweet. I felt younger, lighter, happier in body. Within I was conscious of a heady recklessness, a current of disordered sensual images running like a mill race in my fancy, a solution of bonds of obligation, an unknown but not an innocent freedom of the soul. I knew myself, at the first breath of this new life, to be more wicked, tenfold more wicked, sold a slave to my original evil, and the thought in that moment braced and delighted me like wine. I stretched out my hands, exulting in the freshness of these sensations, and in the act I was suddenly aware that I had lost in stature. There was no mirror at that date in my room. That which stands beside me as I write was brought there later on and for the very purpose of these transformations. The night, however, was far gone into the morning. The morning, black as it was nearly ripe for the conception of the day. The inmates of my house were locked in the most rigorous hours of slumber, and I determined, flushed as I was with hope and triumph, to venture in my new shape as far as to my bedroom. I crossed the yard, wherein the constellations looked down upon me. I could have thought, with wonder, the first creature of that sort that their unsleeping vigilance had yet disclosed to them. I stole through the corridors, a stranger in my own house, and coming to my room, I saw for the first time the appearance of Edward Hyde. You can hear her, right? Hang on, I gotta close the door. I gotta close the door in there, one sec. She's loud. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Baby is in heat and she's yowling, and then Babu will try to satisfy her, and I don't like it. Okay. Where were we? Okay, continuing on. I must here speak by theory alone, saying not that which I know, but that which I suppose to be most probable. The evil side of my nature, to which I had now transferred the stamping efficacy, was less robust and less developed than the good which I had just deposed. Again, in the course of my life, which had been, after all, 9/10 a life of effort, virtue, and control, it had been much less exercised and much less exhausted. And hence, as I think, it came about that Edward Hyde was so much smaller, slighter, and younger than Henry Jekyll. Even as good shone upon the countenance of the one, evil was written broadly and plainly on the face of the other. Evil, besides, which I must still believe to be the lethal side of man, had left on that body an imprint of deformity and decay. And yet, when I looked upon that ugly idol in the glass, I was conscious of no repugnance, rather of a leap of welcome. This, too, was myself. It seemed natural and human. In my eyes it bore a livelier image of the spirit. It seemed more express and single than the imperfect and divided countenance I had been hitherto accustomed to call mine. And in so far I was doubtless right. I have observed that when I wore the semblance of Edward Hyde, none would come near to me at first without a visible misgiving of the flesh. This, as I take it, was because all human beings, as we meet them, are commingled out of good and evil, and Edward Hyde, alone in the ranks of mankind, was pure evil. I lingered but a moment at the mirror. The second and conclusive experiment had yet to be attempted. It yet remained to be seen if I had lost my identity beyond redemption and must flee before daylight from a house that was no longer mine, and hurrying back to my cabinet, I once more prepared and drank the cup, once more suffered the pangs of dissolution, and came to myself once more with the character, the stature, and the face of Henry Jekyll. That night I had come to the fatal crossroads. Had I approached my discovery in a more noble spirit, had I risked the experiment while under the empire of generous or pious aspirations, all must have been otherwise, and from these agonies of death and birth I had come forth an angel instead of a fiend. The drug had no discriminating action. It was neither diabolical nor divine. It but shook the doors of the prison house of my disposition, and like the captives of Philippi, that which stood within ran forth. At that time my virtue slumbered. My evil, kept awake by ambition, was alert and swift to seize the occasion, and the thing that was projected as Edward Hyde. Hence, although I had now two characters as well as two appearances, one was wholly evil, and the other was still the old Henry Jekyll, that incongruous compound of whose reformation and improvement I had already learned to despair. The moment was thus wholly toward the worse. Even at that time I had not yet conquered my aversion to the dryness of a life of study. I would still be merrily disposed at times, and as my pleasures were, to say the least, undignified, and I was not only well known and highly considered, but growing towards the elderly man, this incoherency of my life was daily growing more unwelcome. It was on this side that my new power tempted me until I fell in slavery. I had but to drink the cup, to doff at once the body of the noted professor, and to assume, like a thick cloak, that of Edward Hyde. I smiled at the notion. It seemed to me at the time to be humorous, and I made my preparations with the most studious care. I stood and furnished that house in Soho, to which Hyde was tracked by the police, and engaged as housekeeper a creature whom I well known to be silent and unscrupulous. On the other side, I announced to my servants that a Mr. Hyde, whom I described, was to have full liberty and power about my house in the square, and to parry mishaps. I even called and made myself a familiar object in my second character. I next drew up that will to which you so much objected, so that if anything befell me in the person of Dr. Jekyll, I could enter on that of Edward Hyde without pecuniary loss? Oh my god, I don't know what that word is. I gotta look it up. Pecuniary? How do you say that? One second. Okay, it is pecuniary. Wow. We learning new words. Sorry. Where was I? I next drew up that will to which you so much objected, so that if anything befell me in the person of Dr. Jekyll, I could enter on that of Edward Hyde without pecuniary loss. And thus fortified, as I supposed, on every side, I began to profit by the strange immunities of my position. Men have before hired bravos to transact their crimes, while their own person and reputation sat under shelter. I was the first that ever did so for his pleasures. I was the first that could thus plod in the public eye with a load of genial respectability, and in a moment, like a schoolboy, strip off these lendings and spring headlong into the sea of liberty. But for me, and my impenetrable mantle, the safety was complete. Think of it, I did not even exist. Let me but escape into my laboratory door, give me but a second or two to mix and swallow the draught that I had always standing ready, and whatever he had done, Edward Hyde would pass away like the stain of breath upon a mirror. And there in his stead, quietly at home, trimming the midnight lamp in his study, a man who could afford to laugh at suspicion would be Henry Jekyll. The pleasures which I made haste to seek The pleasures which I made haste to seek in my disguise were, as I have said, undignified. I would scarce use a harder term. But in the hands of Edward Hyde, they soon began to turn towards the monstrous. When I would come back from these excursions, I was often plunged into a kind of wonder at my vicarious depravity. This familiar that I called out of my own soul and sent forth alone to do his good pleasure was a being inherently malign and villainous. His every act and thought centered on self, drinking pleasure with bestial avidity from any degree of torture to another, relentless like a man of stone. Henry Jekyll stood at times aghast before the acts of Edward Hyde, but the situation was apart from ordinary laws, and insidiously relaxed. But the situation was apart from ordinary laws, and insidiously relaxed the grasp of conscience. It was Hyde, after all, and Hyde alone, that was guilty. Jekyll was no worse. He woke again to his good qualities seemingly unimpaired. He would even make haste, where it was possible, to undo the evil done by Hyde, and thus his conscience slumbered. Into the details of the infamy at which I thus connived, for even now I can scarce grant that I committed it, I have no design of entering. I mean but to point out the warnings and the successive steps with which my chastisement approached. I met with one accident which, as it brought on no consequence, I shall no more than mention. An act of cruelty to a child aroused against me the anger of a passer-by, whom I recognized the other day in the person of your kinsman. The doctor and the child's family joined him. There were moments when I feared for my life, and at last, in order to pacify their too just resentment, Edward Hyde had to bring them to the door and pay them in a check drawn in the name of Henry Jekyll. But this danger was easily eliminated from the future by opening an account at another bank in the name of Edward Hyde himself, and when, by sloping my own hand backward, I had supplied my double with a signature, I thought I sat beyond the reach of fate. Some 2 months before the murder of Sir Danvers, I had been out for one of my adventures, had returned at a late hour, and woke the next day in bed with somewhat odd sensations. It was in vain I looked about me. In vain I saw the decent furniture and tall proportions of my room in the square. In vain that I recognized the pattern of the bed curtains and the design of the mahogany frame. Something still kept insisting that I was not where I was, that I had not awakened where I seemed to be, but in the little room in Soho where I was accustomed to sleep in the body of Edward Hyde. I smiled to myself, and, in my psychological way, began lazily to inquire into the elements of this illusion, occasionally, even as I did so, dropping back into a comfortable morning doze. I was still so engaged when, in one of my more wakeful moments, my eye fell upon my hand. Now the hand of Henry Jekyll, as you have often remarked, was professional in shape and size. It was large, firm, white, and comely. But the hand which I now saw clearly enough, in the yellow light of a mid-London morning, lying half shut on the bedclothes, was lean, corded, knuckly, of a dusky pallor and thickly shaded with a smart growth of hair. It was the hand of Edward Hyde. I must have stared upon it for near half a minute, sunk as I was in the mere stupidity of wonder, before terror woke up in my breast as sudden and startling as the crash of cymbals, and bounding from my bed, I rushed to the mirror. At the sight that met my eyes, my blood was changed into something exquisitely thin and icy. Yes, I had gone to bed Henry Jekyll. I had awakened Edward Hyde. How was this to be explained? I asked myself, and then, with another bound of terror, how was it to be remedied? It was well on in the morning. The servants were up. All my drugs were in the cabinet. A long journey down 2 pairs of stairs, through the back passage, across the open court, and through the A long journey down 2 pairs of stairs, through the back passage, across the open court, and through the anatomical theater, from where I was then standing horror-struck. It might indeed be possible to cover my face, but of what use was that when I was unable to conceal the alteration in my stature? And then, with an overpowering sweetness of relief, it came back upon my mind that the servants were already used to the coming and going of my second self. I had soon dressed, as well as I was able, in clothes of my own size, had soon passed through the house, where Bradshaw stared and drew back at seeing Mr. Hyde at such an hour and in such a strange array, and 10 minutes later Dr. Jekyll had returned to his own shape and was sitting down, with a darkened brow to make a feint of breakfasting. Small indeed was my appetite. This inexplicable incident, this reversal of my previous experience, seemed, like the Babylonian finger on the wall, to be spelling out the letters of my judgment, and I began to reflect more seriously than ever before on the issues and possibilities of my double existence. That part of me which I had the power of projecting had lately been much exercised and nourished. It had seemed to me of late as though the body of Edward Hyde had grown in stature, as though, when I wore that form, I were conscious of a more generous tide of blood, and I began to spy a danger that, if this were much prolonged, the balance of my nature might be permanently overthrown, the power of voluntary change be forfeited, and the character of Edward Hyde become irrevocable. Oh my God. This is a long sentence. It had seemed to me of late as though the body of Edward Hyde had grown in stature, as though, when I wore that form, I were conscious of a more generous tide of blood, and I began to spy a danger that, if this were much prolonged, the balance of my nature might be permanently overthrown, the power of voluntary change be forfeited, and the character of Edward Hyde become irrevocably mine. The power of the drug had not been always equally displayed. Once, very early in my career, it had totally failed me. Since then I had been obliged on more than one occasion to double, and once, with infinite risk of death, to treble the amount, and these rare uncertainties had cast hitherto the sole shadow on my contentment. Now, however, and in the light of that morning's accident, I was led to remark that whereas, in the beginning, the difficulty had been thrown off the body of Jekyll, it had of late gradually but decidedly transferred itself to the other side. All things therefore